Calamity. The recent typhoons in Fujian and Taiwan were a real calamity. Calculate. Have you finished calculating your costs yet? Calm. You must try to keep calm even in face of difficulty. Camp. We belong to the same political camps. Can. The fruit is canned in the factory. Canal. A lot of ships are sailing on the canal. Candid. To be candid, I dislike Judy's up-to-date hairstyle. Candidate. Anne was definitely the best one of the 3 candidates for the job. Capable. Don't worry, this girl is capable of looking after herself. Capacity. The seating capacity of this hall is 45. Capital. Beijing is the capital of China, an old and beautiful city. Capitalism. Perhaps most people know capitalism is based on private ownership. Capture. The poor bird was finally captured by the boy. Carbon. He often makes a carbon copy of his documents. Cargo. Those people are loading a ship with cargo. Carve. They carve their names on a big tree with a knife. Cassette. He brought back a new cassette recorder from America. Castle. There is a large and beautiful castle nearby. Casual. Ms. Rose is very casual about appearing in newspapers and magazines. Casualty. It's reported that there were more than 200 casualties in the air crash. Catcher. We have a good catcher on our team. Category. There are many categories of musical strings in China. Catholic. It's said that Mr. Andrew was a devout Catholic. Cause. He always causes his parents anxiety. Cautious. He is always very cautious not to make any mistakes. Cave. The farmer's old house caved during the last earthquake. Cedar. There are many evergreen pines, cedars, and spruces in the West Lake Park opposite my house. Ceiling. My new house has a very high ceiling with a carved panel. Cell. Human tissue consists of millions of cells. Cent. Last night, when I wanted to pay the bill, I found that I didn't have a cent with me. Center. The parents' hopes were centered on their children. Centigrade. It's predicted that the temperature will sometimes be 40 degrees centigrade this summer. Central. These books are central to our studies. Ceramics. Chinese ceramics are popular throughout the world. Ceremony. The ceremony is at 2:30 p.m. Everyone should participate on time. Certain. I think that he is certain to come. Certify. I can certify this is Judy's true signature. Chairman. She was elected the chairman of the English department. Chalk. The manager chalked out his plan for the project. Chance. I chanced to come across an old friend in a cinema. Chancellor. Mr. Chen, the Chancellor of Beijing University, will visit our college and make a speech this afternoon. Change. The psychologist dreamed of changing the world. Channel. more funds would be channeled to the company. Character. The American character is often said to be humorous. Characteristic. It is characteristic of Larry to be enthusiastic and generous. Charge. How much do you charge for giving English lessons? Chase. The children caught the rabbits after a long chase. Chat. Anne and Vivian were chatting away in the corner. Cheek. He cheeked his brother back, and they began to fight. Cheerfully. On seeing the combat heroes, the pupils shouted out cheerfully. Chemistry. Our teacher asked us to do a chemistry experiment this Monday. Cherry. Which kind do you prefer, cherry pie or apple pie? Chestnut. Little Laura prefers these bright roast chestnuts to those apples. Chill. Here is a small heater which can keep off a chill in the air. Chimney. Waste gas from the factory chimneys has seriously polluted the air. Choose. Anne could not choose which dress to buy. Chore. Mary and Andrew find driving and shopping a chore. Chronic. Paul's aunt has chronic bronchitis. Chronicle. When compiling this chronicle, Anne carefully consulted a lot of historical materials. Chunk. Mama cuts the cold meats into chunks and boils them for 45 minutes. Circle. The police circled around the building where the criminals were. Circular. Peter's explanation seems to be rather circular. Circulate. The news of her success was widely circulated among her relatives and friends. Circulation. Sally's ideas have been in circulation among teenagers. Circumstance. Under no circumstances should you go back to see your dying mother. Citizen. The citizens of Chicago were all in favor of this policy. Civic. It's our civic duty to protect the environment. Civil. Children should learn to be civil to each other. Civilization. His poetry shows his great interest in Greek civilization. Claim. There is no organization claiming responsibility for the suicidal bombing. Clam. This famous movie star shuts up like a clam as soon as people mention her age. Clap. The audience clapped and cheered heartily as the pianist finished his performance. Clarify. I hope this statement will help to clarify that problem. Clash. Our personal interests clashed, so we broke up. Clash. Our personal interests clashed, so we broke up. Clerk. He has been a tally clerk in our company for more than 40 years. Clever. She is clever at physics. Client. This lawyer told his client honestly that they might lose the lawsuit. Climate. The political climate of that country remained tense at that time. Cling. When my nephew was a little boy, he always clung to my aunt. Clinic. My brother's ambition is to run his own acupuncture clinic in Singapore as a qualified acupuncturist. Close. Many people pay close attention to the stock market. Closed. A closed economic system didn't fit the development of the society anymore. Closely. If the whole nation is closely united, they can defeat the enemy. Clothe. The puppies were clothed in cute dresses. Cloud. The terror of war clouded the whole country. Clue. The police have no clue as to the identity of the thief. Cluster. Most of the Chinese and Indian restaurants are clustered nearby in our neighborhood. Coal. The ship coaled each time it came to a port. Coalition. During the war, Britain was ruled by a coalition. Coalition. During the war, Britain was ruled by a coalition. Coarse. The nun prefers to wear clothes made of coarse cloth. Coast. Our team is coasting to victory. Coat. The cake is coated with chocolate. Cock. We cocked our ears after having heard footsteps. Collect. They are collecting money for the African who is suffering from AIDS. Collection. Some foreigners were invited to view the summer collection. Collide. Yesterday I saw a car and a van collide in the fog. Comb. Mama told little Anne, "Your hair needs a good comb." Comfort. I prefer to dress for comfort, not fashion. Comfortable. It's not wrong to want a comfortable life, but a person should have some ambition. Command. The general commanded the soldiers to advance at once. Commerce. She has little commerce with her classmates. Commercial. Shanghai is a commercial center. Committee. The committee members are re-elected every 2 years. Common. Common interests bind the two companies together. Compare. The pain I suffered is nothing compared to many others. Compete. The children are competing for attention. Competent. Dennis proved to be competent enough as manager of the company. Competitive. You need to be competitive to win any sport. Complain. The students complained that the exam was too hard. Complaint. Consumers lodged a complaint about the faulty goods. Complete. They can have a short vacation after their work is complete. Compliant. Since Anne married John, she changed from an intelligent, spirited young girl into a meek and compliant wife. Complicate. Please don't complicate my life. Composer. Her husband is a composer. Composition. Swan Lake is one of Tchaikovsky's best-known compositions. Comprehensive. Carl was educated at the local comprehensive school at the age of 12. Conceal. Anne's boyfriend tried to conceal the fact that he was cheating on her. Concentrate. Adrian couldn't concentrate in his studies. Conception. The study of astronomy gives you some conception of what the universe is like. Concern. Although it is no concern of Andrew's, he expressed his concern. Concert. The concert will be held on Monday. Conclude. At first sight of her, he concluded that the woman was in great anguish. Conclusion. The speaker came to the conclusion that war was inevitable. Concrete. There was no concrete evidence to prove his guilt. Condemn. Most people were quick to condemn him for his foolish and bad behavior. Condition. Her single-parent upbringing did not condition her for life living with a big family. Conference. I'll attend an international conference in Taipei on Monday. Confess. Arthur confessed to being unfaithful to his girlfriend. Confident. She's confident of the ability to deal with emergencies. Confidential. In 1965, a confidential report to President Johnson was leaked to the press. Confirm. The news and his letter confirm my resolution. Confront. Confronted by a big, terrible dog, our cat retreated. Confuse. Please don't confuse Australia with Austria. Congested. The roads are always congested with cars during rush hours in Taipei. Congratulate. I congratulated myself on passing the interview. Connect. I like anything connected with movies. Conquer. The Normans conquered England in 1066. Consciousness. Hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. Conservative. Old people are usually more conservative than young people. Conserve. Little Tom regards strawberry conserve as a delicious sweetmeat. Consider. I considered your suggestion very valuable. Considerable. He has made considerable achievement, but he isn't satisfied. Considerate. Anne's husband is always considerate of her and their children. Consistent. Our respected teacher's behavior is consistent with his teaching. Constitution. The written Constitution of the United States was adopted in 1787. Construct. They were cheated by her carefully constructed lie again. Consume. Larry complained that his old car consumed too much gasoline. Contain. It's difficult for her to contain her anger. Contemplate. My colleague, Ms. Lee, is contemplating a visit to Europe. Content. I appreciate the excellent content, but I don't like the style of your writing. Contest. The contest between France and England for North America ended in victory for England. Context. Telling the meaning of a word is often difficult without a context. Continual. Continual rejections by the publishing house did not stop his writing. Continue. He continued his effort despite his failure. Continuous. The brain needs a continuous supply of blood. Contract. Marriage is, first of all, a contract which must be governed by justice. Contradict. Please be a compliant daughter. Don't contradict your old father. Contrary. Cruelty and kindness are contraries. Contribute. Smoking can contribute to lung cancer. Convenient. If it's convenient to you, I wonder if you could come to the company on Sunday. Conventional. Good morning is a conventional greeting. Convex. There is a convex lens in our college lab. Convey. A vibrating membrane in the ear helps to convey sounds to the brain. Convince. What Bill said convinced me of his sincerity. Cope. The manager has an amazing ability to cope with the financial difficulty. Copper. He asked me if copper has less resistance than lead. Cordial. Coffee and tea are a cordial drink. Core. The earth has a core and a mantle around it. Corn. My mother corns lots of beef, chicken, and pork every winter. Corner. Turn left at the next corner and you'll find the police station. Correct. You should correct your error at once. Cosmetic. Lipstick and eyeshadow are cosmetics. Cost. The failure cost her dear. She had to start her business from scratch. Cough. The teacher gave the sleeping boy a warning cough. Count. He was counted among the greatest leaders of the century. Countryside. She thinks the most beautiful place in the world is her native countryside. Couple. She will be back in a couple of weeks. Courage. He plucked his courage to tell his father the truth. Courageous. Our teacher hopes that Anne is courageous enough to admit her mistake. Court. The local court couldn't find Bill guilty without enough evidence. Courtesy. After saying goodbye to each other, Bill wrote back to her out of courtesy. Coward. Only a coward would run from danger. Create. His absence created an uneasy suspicion. Creation. The star's evening dress is the newest creation of an Italian designer. Creative. The creative painter left many astonishing works. Credible. What he said is hardly credible. Crime. In some countries, it is a crime to sell cigarettes to minors. Crisis. Relations between the couple has reached a crisis point. Critic. Mary began as a film critic for a local paper 3 years ago. Criticize. My father always criticizes me for taking too many risks. Crop. A crop of romantic poets such as Keats and Shelley emerged at that time. Cross. Everyone has to bear some crosses, and it's impossible for one to have no worry at all. Crow. The crow is a bird of ill omen in China. Crowd. A crowd gathered at the scene of the accident, but nobody helped the injured man. Crown. The athlete won the crown in 2004. Crucial. The cylinder is a crucial part of the washing machine. Cucumber. Custom. She likes to eat cucumber chips to get up late on weekends. Cultivate. Only 1/3 of the land can be cultivated. My uncle is good at preparing cuttlefish and lobsters.